Welcome back to the channel The Coin Empire, the place where hidden treasure stories, rare coin discoveries, and unbelievable minting mistakes turn ordinary pocket change into life-changing fortunes, and today we are diving deep into one of the most mysterious and talked about coins among collectors. The legendary 1969 D Lincoln 1-cent coin that some collectors believe could reach an astonishing value of $150 million because of rare minting errors, impossible production mistakes, strange varieties, and incredible possibilities that continue to shock the coin collecting world even decades after it was first produced. And if you have ever ignored an old penny sitting in a jar, buried in a drawer, or hiding in an old wallet, this story may completely change the way you look at every coin you own, because the 1969 D 1-cent coin is surrounded by rumors, collector excitement, and theories that have made it one of the most fascinating Lincoln cents ever discussed, especially when rare error combinations appear together on a single example, creating the kind of coin that wealthy collectors dream about finding. And the story begins during the late 1960s, when the United States Mint was producing billions of Lincoln pennies every year to keep up with growing demand across America, and because such massive numbers were being struck at incredible speed, mistakes were unavoidable. But every once in a while a mistake was so unusual, so dramatic, and so rare that it transformed a simple 1-cent coin into a priceless artifact of minting history. And the 1969 D penny is believed by some experts and collectors to be exactly that kind of coin when certain rare characteristics appear together, especially because Denver Mint pennies from that year were already produced under enormous pressure with high-speed machinery, overworked dies, and complicated minting operations that increased the chances of errors escaping into circulation unnoticed. And one of the biggest reasons the 1969 D penny became so famous is because collectors constantly search for dramatic double die errors, repunched mint marks, die cracks, off-center strikes, wrong planchet strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and unusual metal compositions that could turn an ordinary penny into a historic collectible worth unimaginable money. And among these possibilities, the most exciting is the idea that a nearly perfect storm of minting mistakes could exist on a single surviving 1969 D cent, making it unique enough for billionaire collectors and elite museums to compete aggressively for ownership, driving the theoretical value into the hundreds of millions, especially if the coin is discovered in pristine mint condition with original red luster and absolutely no circulation damage, because condition is everything in the rare coin world. And collectors know that even tiny scratches or wear marks can dramatically affect value, which is why a flawless example with legendary errors becomes almost impossible to price, and many coin enthusiasts spend years searching through old penny rolls hoping to discover a hidden treasure like this, because history has proven that valuable coins are often found in ordinary places, from garage sales to inherited collections to forgotten piggy banks. And the excitement surrounding the 1969 D penny also comes from confusion with the famous 1969 South Double Die Center, one of the most celebrated error pennies in American history. But collectors believe there may also be undocumented or undiscovered Denver Mint varieties that remain hidden from the public, waiting to be identified by sharp-eyed treasure hunters, and this mystery keeps interest alive year after year, because every collector dreams of being the person who uncovers the next sensational coin discovery that changes the hobby forever. And one of the most important features collectors look for on the 1969 D penny is strong doubling in the lettering and date. Especially if the word Liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," or the numbers in the date show dramatic separation visible without magnification, because double dies happen during the die creation process when the design is accidentally impressed multiple times at slightly different angles, causing clear duplicated images on the finished coin. And true double die coins are incredibly valuable because they are genuine mistakes from the minting process itself rather than damage created after circulation. And when such a rare error appears on a Denver Mint penny from 1969, excitement spreads rapidly throughout the collecting community, especially if the coin also contains other unusual features such as a rotated die error where the front and back of the coin are not properly aligned, or a broad strike where the collar die failed, causing the coin to spread outward with an abnormally large appearance. And collectors become even more fascinated if the coin displays die breaks or cuts, where parts of the die cracked and created raised blobs of metal on the finished penny, because these dramatic visual mistakes make every error coin unique and highly collectible. And another possibility that drives the legendary $150 million theory is the existence of transitional metal errors, because during different years the composition of Lincoln cents changed, And if a 1969 penny were accidentally struck on an experimental or incorrect metal planchet, the rarity would become extraordinary, especially if scientific testing confirmed the unusual composition, and throughout coin collecting history, wrong metal errors have sold for enormous prices because they represent mistakes that should never have escaped the mint, and the idea of a 1969 cent struck on a rare bronze alloy, foreign planchet, or experimental blank captures the imagination of collectors around the world. And then there are off-center strikes, one of the most visually dramatic errors possible, where the coin design appears partially missing because the blank planchet was not properly positioned during striking, and depending on the severity and clarity of the visible date and mint mark, these coins can become highly valuable, particularly if they combine with other errors at the same time. And collectors are always searching for coins with multiple errors because the rarity increases exponentially with every additional mistake, creating one-of-a-kind collectibles that cannot easily be compared to anything else in existence. And the 1969 penny is especially interesting because coins from this era were often heavily circulated, meaning that very few high-grade examples survived untouched, so discovering a gem-quality specimen with blazing original color and incredible mint errors would create enormous attention at major coin auctions, where wealthy investors and elite collectors compete for ownership of the rarest coins ever produced, and many experts believe that the future of rare coin collecting will continue to attract billionaire interest because truly rare historical items become more desirable over time as populations grow and surviving examples disappear into private collections forever, and that is why stories about million-dollar pennies continue to spread across the world, inspiring people to search through old change jars hoping to uncover hidden treasures. And another important factor that makes the 1969 penny so intriguing is the possibility of counterfeit confusion because some counterfeiters have attempted to alter dates or mint marks on coins to imitate rare varieties, which means authenticating a valuable coin requires expert examination from professional grading companies that analyze the metal, strike, weight, surface texture, and microscopic details to determine whether the coin is genuine. And if an authenticated 1969 penny with extraordinary minting errors were ever confirmed to be unique, the media attention alone could send the value into unimaginable territory because collectors love coins with fascinating stories, mystery, controversy, and extreme rarity, and over the years many incredible coin discoveries have emerged from ordinary collections, proving that hidden rarities still exist, including coins accidentally spent as pocket change for decades before someone realized their true value. And this possibility keeps treasure hunters motivated because the next historic discovery could happen at any moment. And the Lincoln Cent series remains one of the most collected coin series in the world because almost everyone has handled pennies during their lifetime, creating a personal connection that makes rare examples even more exciting, and the 1969 penny represents the perfect combination of mystery, rarity, historical importance, and error collecting excitement, especially when people imagine the possibility of a previously unknown specimen with unmatched characteristics emerging from obscurity. And some collectors believe the coin could feature extreme die clashes where impressions from one die transferred onto the opposite die, creating ghost-like outlines and unusual design overlaps, while others search for dramatic strike-through errors where grease, wire, cloth, or foreign material interfered with the striking process and created bizarre missing details on the surface. And every strange imperfection adds to the story of the coin because mint errors are physical evidence of the chaotic and complex process used to create billions of coins every year, and the fascination grows even stronger when collectors realize how few error coins survive in excellent condition because most damaged or unusual coins were removed from circulation or lost long ago, making surviving examples incredibly rare today, and some treasure hunters spend decades searching bankrolls, estate sales, flea markets, and antique shops hoping to discover the next legendary penny hiding in plain sight. And stories of ordinary people finding valuable coins worth thousands or even millions continue to inspire new generations of collectors, especially young enthusiasts who dream of making the discovery of a lifetime, and the idea that a tiny copper coin could be worth more than mansions, luxury cars, or private islands seems unbelievable. Yet history has repeatedly shown that rarity and collector demand can create astonishing prices for unique numismatic treasures, and when a coin combines historical significance, mysterious origins, dramatic minting errors, pristine condition, and widespread media attention, the sky becomes the limit for potential value, which is why the 1969 next 1992 D1 cent coin. Today we are diving into one of the most mysterious and exciting coins that continues to shock collectors across the world, the legendary 1992 D Lincoln 1 cent coin that some experts and treasure hunters believe could reach an astonishing value of $145 million because of its rare errors, mint mistakes, impossible varieties, and the incredible possibilities surrounding certain surviving examples. And if you have ever ignored a penny lying on a table, hidden in a drawer, sitting inside an old jar, or mixed into a forgotten coin collection, this story may completely change the way you look at every single cent, because the 1992 D penny has become one of the most talked about modern Lincoln cents in American coin collecting history, especially due to the famous close AM reverse variety, one of the rarest and most valuable modern penny errors ever discovered. And collectors continue searching endlessly through rolls of pennies hoping to find this unbelievable rarity, because the difference between an ordinary coin and a treasure worth millions can come down to tiny details almost invisible to the naked eye. And the story of the 1992 D penny begins during the early 1990s, when the United States Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents every year to satisfy circulation demand across America. And because the Denver Mint was striking coins at incredible speed with heavy production schedules, occasional mistakes slipped through the minting process, creating accidental rarities that collectors later discovered years after the coins entered circulation. And one of the most famous discoveries connected to the 1992 D penny involves the spacing between the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse side of the coin, because on normal 1992 pennies the A and M are separated clearly, but on the extremely rare close AM variety the letters are nearly touching each other, creating a design intended for proof coins rather than regular circulation coins. And experts believe that a proof reverse die may have accidentally been used to strike certain Denver Mint circulation cents, creating one of the rarest modern mint errors ever found. And because only a tiny number of genuine examples are known to exist, collectors consider the 1992 D close AM penny one of the crown jewels of Lincoln cent collecting. And whenever a confirmed example appears at auction, excitement spreads rapidly through the numismatic world, because the rarity is so extreme that even heavily circulated pieces can sell for astonishing amounts of money, while high-grade mint state examples become almost impossible to value due to overwhelming demand from wealthy collectors and investors. And this is where the legendary $145 million theory begins, because collectors imagine the possibility of discovering a flawless mint condition 1992 D close AM penny combined with additional rare mint errors, creating a unique specimen unlike any other coin in existence. And in the world of rare coins, uniqueness can push prices into unimaginable territory, because billionaires, elite museums, and advanced collectors compete fiercely for items that may never appear again. And the more extraordinary the combination of rarity, condition, and historical significance becomes, the higher the theoretical value climbs. And many collectors believe that somewhere out there a perfect 1992 D penny with multiple dramatic mint errors could still exist unnoticed inside an old collection. Forgotten piggy bank, or inherited coin jar waiting to be discovered by someone lucky enough to recognize its importance. And one reason this coin creates such fascination is because modern pennies are often ignored by ordinary people, which means valuable examples can remain hidden in circulation for decades before anyone notices them. And throughout coin collecting history, many incredible treasures were discovered completely by accident when collectors carefully examined common-looking coins under magnification and spotted tiny details that changed everything. And the 1992 D penny perfectly represents this possibility, because at first glance it appears completely ordinary, yet under close inspection certain rare examples reveal design features worth fortunes. And beyond the famous close AM reverse variety, collectors also search for dramatic doubled dies on the 1992 D penny, especially strong doubling in the date, lettering, or Lincoln portrait, because doubled die errors occur during die creation when the design is accidentally impressed multiple times at slightly different angles, producing visible duplicated features on the final coin. And true double dies are extremely valuable because they originate directly from the minting process itself rather than from damage occurring after circulation. And if a 1992 D close AM penny also displayed strong double die characteristics, the rarity would become extraordinary, especially if the doubling appeared clearly in Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or the date itself, and collectors know that coins combining multiple rare errors become exponentially more valuable because the odds of such combinations occurring are incredibly small, and another exciting possibility involves repunched mint marks. Although minting methods changed over time, certain varieties still show evidence of unusual mint mark positioning or shifting, creating collectible anomalies that attract serious attention among Lincoln cent specialists. And then there are die cracks, cuds, and retained die breaks, where overused or damaged dies begin cracking under enormous pressure during coin production, leaving raised lines and blobs of metal on the finished penny, and some collectors specifically seek dramatic die break examples because every crack tells the story of a die slowly failing during the minting process, making each coin a frozen moment in manufacturing history. And the 1992 D penny becomes even more fascinating when collectors imagine rare off-metal strikes, because if a penny were accidentally struck on the wrong planchet, such as a foreign coin blank or experimental metal composition, the coin could become one of the rarest modern mint mistakes ever discovered, and wrong planchet errors are among the most valuable types of minting accidents because they represent mistakes that should have been impossible under normal mint procedures. Yet history has proven that incredible errors do occasionally escape into circulation, and a 1992 D close AM penny struck on an unusual metal planchet would instantly become one of the most important Lincoln cents in existence, especially if the coin remained in pristine condition with full original mint luster and no signs of circulation wear, and condition is critically important in the coin world because even microscopic scratches, discoloration, or wear can dramatically reduce value, which is why collectors pay enormous premiums for coins graded at the highest levels by professional grading companies, and when a coin combines extreme rarity with nearly flawless preservation, competition among collectors can become intense, especially for coins connected to famous stories and legendary discoveries, and the 1992 D penny is already famous because of the close AM variety, making it one of the most searched modern pennies in circulation today. And thousands of collectors still inspect rolls of pennies every year hoping to uncover an undiscovered example. Because genuine pieces are so rare that finding one can completely transform a person's life overnight, and the excitement surrounding the coin continues growing because many people believe additional undiscovered varieties may still exist, hidden among billions of ordinary pennies, waiting for experts to identify them. And another reason collectors are obsessed with the 1992 D penny is because the close AM design was never intended for regular circulation coins, which means every confirmed example represents an accidental mistake at the mint, and accidental varieties often become legendary because they provide a glimpse into the hidden world of coin production where tiny errors can create massive historical importance, and beyond close AM examples, collectors also look for wide strikes, broad strikes, and off-center strikes where the coin was not properly positioned during striking, causing portions of the design to appear missing or stretched, and dramatic off-center coins become especially valuable when the date and mint mark remain fully visible because collectors can identify the coin clearly while still appreciating the dramatic visual effect of the error, and some of the most valuable error coins ever sold featured major off-center strikes combined with other rare characteristics. And this possibility fuels endless searching among penny hunters who examine every detail carefully under magnification, and then there are strike-through errors, where grease, debris, cloth fibers, or foreign material interfere with the striking process and prevent parts of the design from appearing correctly, creating unusual blank areas or distorted features on the coin surface, and while some strike-through errors are relatively common, dramatic examples on already rare varieties like the 1992 D close AM penny could become incredibly valuable because collectors love unique coins with eye-catching appearances and unusual stories, and another possibility that fascinates collectors involves die clashes, where the front and back dies strike each other without a planchet between them, transferring portions of the design onto the opposite die and creating ghost-like images on later struck coins, and die clash errors are especially collectible when the transferred design elements remain clearly visible, adding another layer of rarity and mystery to an already famous coin. And because the 1992 D penny belongs to the Lincoln cent series, one of the most widely collected coin series in American history, demand for important varieties remains extremely strong, and collectors from beginners to advanced specialists all recognize the significance of the close AM error, which means competition for genuine examples continues increasing year after year, especially as more people learn about valuable coins through videos, online communities, and auction records. And social media has helped spread awareness of rare coin discoveries faster than ever before. Inspiring millions of people to search through spare change for hidden treasures. Next, 1976 1-cent coin. Today we are diving into one of the most mysterious Lincoln cents ever discussed among collectors, the legendary 1976 Lincoln 1-cent coin that some collectors and treasure hunters believe could theoretically reach a staggering value of $140 million because of rare minting errors, impossible production mistakes, mysterious varieties, and extraordinary combinations of features that make certain examples almost beyond priceless in the world of coin collecting, and if you have ever ignored an old penny sitting in a drawer, hidden inside a dusty jar, mixed into a collection inherited from family, or forgotten at the bottom of a wallet, this story may completely change the way you look at every coin you own, because the 1976 Lincoln cent has fascinated collectors for decades, especially when dramatic mint errors appear on coins struck during one of the most important celebratory periods in United States history, the bicentennial era, when patriotic excitement filled the country and the United States Mint was operating at massive production levels to meet circulation demand, and during those years billions of coins were produced under tremendous pressure using high-speed machinery, worn dies, overworked mint equipment, and non-stop production schedules that created the perfect conditions for mistakes to occur, and while most minting errors were minor and unnoticed, every once in a while something extraordinary escaped the mint, creating a coin so rare and unusual that collectors would later spend decades searching for similar examples, and this possibility is exactly what keeps the legend of the 1976 penny alive, because collectors believe certain hidden varieties and error combinations may still exist undiscovered somewhere in the world, waiting to be found in ordinary pocket change, forgotten coin rolls, or old collections hidden away for years. And one reason the 1976 penny attracts so much attention is because it was produced during a period when the United States Mint was experimenting with production improvements and facing enormous coin demand, which increased the likelihood of unusual minting accidents, and collectors constantly searched 1976 pennies for dramatic double die errors where the design was accidentally impressed multiple times onto the die at slightly different angles, causing visible doubling on the finished coin, especially in the date, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust," and true double die coins are extremely valuable because the error originates during die creation rather than from post-mint damage, making the mistake permanent on every coin struck from that die, and if a 1976 penny displayed unusually strong doubling combined with pristine mint condition and additional mint errors, the coin could become one of the most desirable Lincoln cents ever discovered, especially because collectors love coins with dramatic visual appeal and unique stories connected to their creation, and the excitement grows even stronger when people imagine the possibility of a 1976 penny struck using the wrong reverse die, experimental design elements, or unusual proof-style features accidentally transferred onto circulation coins, because history has shown that some of the most valuable coins ever discovered were created when mint employees accidentally mixed dies, planchets, or production materials during busy manufacturing periods, and collectors believe there may still be undocumented transitional varieties from the mid-1970s waiting to be identified by someone with a sharp eye and enough patience to study tiny details under magnification, and this sense of mystery keeps the hunt alive because every old penny could potentially hold a secret worth millions. And another major factor driving the legendary $140 million theory is the possibility of a unique multi-error specimen, because in rare coin collecting the value increases dramatically when several different minting mistakes appear together on a single coin, especially if the coin remains in flawless condition, and imagine a 1976 penny featuring strong double dies, an off-center strike, a broad strike error, and a wrong metal composition all at the same time while still displaying full original red luster without circulation damage. Such a coin would become nearly impossible to compare with any existing example, and when collectors encounter something unique they often compete fiercely for ownership. Because there may never be another opportunity to acquire a similar piece again, and auction history has repeatedly shown that elite collectors and wealthy investors are willing to spend unbelievable amounts of money for one-of-a-kind numismatic treasures, especially when the coin has a fascinating story connected to mystery, rarity, and impossible minting circumstances. And the 1976 penny perfectly fits that kind of legend because it represents an era of massive production, patriotic significance, and hidden possibilities still being explored by collectors decades later, and one of the most dramatic minting mistakes collectors search for on the 1976 penny is the off-center strike, where the blank planchet was improperly positioned during striking, causing part of the design to miss the coin completely, and depending on how dramatic the error is and whether the date remains visible, these coins can become extremely valuable, especially when combined with other unusual features, and collectors particularly love dramatic off-center strikes because they are instantly recognizable and visually exciting, transforming an ordinary penny into a strange and fascinating object unlike anything seen in everyday circulation. And then there are broad strike errors, which occur when the retaining collar fails during the minting process, allowing the coin to spread outward unnaturally when struck, creating a larger and flatter appearance, and broad-struck coins with sharp details and full design visibility can command impressive prices among collectors, especially if they originate from already collectible years like 1976, and another exciting possibility involves wrong planchet strikes, where pennies were accidentally struck on blanks intended for other coins or even foreign currency. And these errors are considered some of the rarest and most valuable minting mistakes because they represent failures that should never happen under normal production controls. Yet throughout history the United States Mint has occasionally released coins struck on dimes, nickels, foreign blanks, or experimental metals, and if a 1976 penny were discovered struck on an unusual planchet while also displaying dramatic die errors, the rarity could become almost unimaginable, especially if the coin remained in high-grade condition. And collectors know that unique combinations create legendary auction pieces capable of attracting global attention from museums, investors, and numismatic historians, and the idea that such a coin might still exist hidden away somewhere fuels endless searching among treasure hunters who examine old penny rolls day after day hoping to make the discovery of a lifetime. And another fascinating category involves die cracks and cuts, where mint dies began failing under pressure after striking huge numbers of coins, creating raised cracks, blobs, or missing sections on the finished penny, and some collectors specialize in these dramatic die state coins because every crack represents physical evidence of a die slowly deteriorating during production, and large cuts appearing near the rim of the coin create especially dramatic visual effects that collectors find highly appealing, particularly when paired with strong strike quality and unusual design features. And then there are die clash errors, which occur when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a blank planchet between them, transferring portions of the design onto the opposite die and creating ghost-like impressions on later struck coins, and these strange overlapping features add another layer of rarity and mystery to already collectible pennies. And when collectors discover dramatic die clash examples on older Lincoln cents, they often become highly sought after because each clash tells part of the hidden story behind the minting process itself. And the 1976 penny becomes even more intriguing when considering the possibility of proof coin contamination during production, because proof coins use specially polished dies and planchets to create mirror-like surfaces and sharper details, and if proof-style dies accidentally entered circulation production, the resulting coins could display unusual characteristics not intended for ordinary pennies, creating transitional varieties and hybrid strikes that collectors would consider priceless discoveries. And many legendary coin rarities throughout history were created by exactly these kinds of accidental mix-ups inside the mint, where small unnoticed changes produced coins unlike anything officially documented, and this possibility continues motivating collectors to inspect every detail of 1976 pennies, from lettering alignment to mint mark position to die polish lines and reverse design spacing, because even tiny differences can separate a common coin from a rare fortune worth millions. And another reason collectors remain obsessed with Lincoln cents is because they are among the most widely collected coins in American history, meaning demand for important varieties stays incredibly strong across generations, and unlike obscure coins known only to specialists, Lincoln pennies have universal recognition because almost everyone has handled them during daily life, making rare examples especially exciting since they can theoretically appear anywhere at any time. And stories of people finding valuable coins in everyday circulation continue inspiring millions around the world to search through spare change, old piggy banks, inherited collections, and forgotten jars hoping to uncover hidden treasures, and the 1976 penny perfectly captures that dream because it represents the idea that extraordinary value can hide inside something ordinary. And some collectors believe that undiscovered high-grade rolls from 1976 may still exist in storage untouched since the day they left the mint, meaning flawless red examples with rare errors could theoretically emerge in the future and shock the numismatic world. And if a coin appeared combining unmatched preservation, dramatic mint mistakes, and a previously, next 1995 D1-cent coin. Today we are exploring one of the most mysterious and fascinating modern Lincoln cents ever discussed among collectors, the legendary 1995 D Lincoln 1-cent coin that some treasure hunters and rare coin experts believe could theoretically reach an unbelievable value of $135 million because of extraordinary minting errors, impossible production mistakes, hidden varieties, and unique combinations of rare features that could make a single penny one of the most valuable coins in the world. And if you have ever walked past a penny on the ground, tossed loose change into a jar, or ignored old coins sitting in storage boxes for years, this story may completely change the way you look at every single cent, because the 1995 D penny represents the kind of modern treasure that collectors dream about finding. A coin that appears ordinary at first glance but could hide microscopic details worth a fortune beyond imagination, and the excitement surrounding the 1995 D Lincoln cent comes from the fact that it was produced during an era of enormous coin production when the United States Mint was striking billions of pennies at extremely high speeds to satisfy circulation demand across America, and whenever coins are produced in massive quantities under pressure, the possibility of mistakes escaping into circulation increases dramatically. And history has shown again and again that some of the most valuable coins ever discovered were born from small unnoticed accidents inside the mint. Accidents involving dies, planchets, metal mixtures, strike alignment, polishing procedures, or production equipment failures that created coins unlike anything intended by mint officials. And collectors believe the 1995 D penny may still hold undiscovered secrets because modern coin varieties continue emerging decades after production as advanced collectors study coins more carefully with magnification and digital imaging, and one of the biggest reasons the 1995 D penny attracts attention is because the 1995 Lincoln cent series is already famous for double die varieties, especially the well-known double die obverse found on Philadelphia minted coins, where dramatic doubling appears in the lettering and date, and this fame naturally caused collectors to wonder whether similar or even more extraordinary double die errors might also exist on Denver mint examples. And the idea of a powerful double die 1995 D penny with extreme visual doubling instantly excites collectors because genuine double die errors are among the most respected and valuable mint mistakes in numismatics, occurring when the die itself receives multiple misaligned impressions during creation, permanently transferring duplicated features onto every coin struck by that die. And if a 1995 D penny displayed strong doubling on Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, the date, or Lincoln's portrait, while also surviving in pristine mint state condition with original blazing red luster, the value could already become extraordinary. But what truly fuels the legendary $135 million theory is the possibility of multiple rare mint errors appearing together on a single flawless specimen, creating a one-of-a-kind coin unlike anything previously documented. And in the rare coin world, uniqueness creates incredible demand because collectors understand there may never be another chance to own a similar piece, especially if the coin receives official authentication confirming its originality and rarity. And imagine a 1995 D penny combining dramatic double dies, an off-center strike, a wrong planchet composition, and proof-like surfaces all on the same coin while remaining perfectly preserved for decades. Such a discovery would create chaos in the numismatic community because it would represent an almost impossible combination of minting accidents surviving together on one tiny copper-plated cent. And collectors know that extraordinary stories combined with extreme rarity can drive prices into unimaginable territory when wealthy buyers compete against each other. And throughout coin collecting history, certain coins became legendary not only because they were rare but because they carried mystery, controversy, and fascinating backstories that captured the imagination of people around the world. And the 1995 D penny fits perfectly into that category because it belongs to a modern era where billions of ordinary coins circulated unnoticed while rare treasures quietly slipped through the mint undetected. And one fascinating possibility involves transitional die usage, where proof dies or experimental dies may have accidentally entered circulation production, creating coins with unusual details, sharper design elements, mirrored surfaces, or reverse spacing not intended for regular pennies. And collectors constantly examine 1995D cents under magnification, searching for subtle differences in lettering alignment, mint mark position, designer initials, and reverse details because hidden varieties often reveal themselves through tiny features invisible to casual observers, and some of the greatest discoveries in numismatic history began exactly this way, with collectors noticing small differences others ignored. And another major category of valuable mint mistakes involves wrong planchet strikes, where a penny is accidentally struck on a blank intended for another denomination or foreign coinage, and these errors are considered among the most valuable mint accidents. Because they should be nearly impossible under normal production controls, yet history proves they occasionally happen, creating coins that immediately become famous among collectors. And if a 1995D penny were discovered struck on a dime planchet, nickel planchet, experimental alloy, or foreign blank while also displaying dramatic die errors, the resulting rarity would be almost impossible to duplicate, especially if the coin retained strong strike details and outstanding preservation, and collectors would likely battle fiercely for ownership because coins like that become permanent historical artifacts representing extraordinary failures inside the minting process. And another exciting possibility involves broad strike errors where the retaining collar fails during striking, allowing the metal to spread outward abnormally and creating oversized pennies with distorted rims. And broad-struck coins with sharp details and attractive surfaces are highly collectible, especially when combined with additional unusual features. And then there are off-center strikes, one of the most visually dramatic mint errors, where the planchet is improperly positioned and only part of the design appears on the coin, leaving blank areas that instantly capture attention. And collectors particularly value off-center pennies when the full date and mint mark remain visible because those details confirm the identity of the coin while preserving the dramatic appearance of the error. And some off-center Lincoln cents have sold for enormous amounts because their strange appearance makes them instantly recognizable even to non-collectors. And when such dramatic errors appear on already important dates or varieties, the value can climb rapidly due to collector excitement and rarity. And the 1995D penny becomes even more fascinating when considering die clash possibilities. Because die clashes occur when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a blank planchet between them, transferring parts of the design from one die onto the other and creating ghost-like images on future coins. And dramatic die clash errors add another layer of mystery to already unusual coins because they reveal hidden moments of chaos during the minting process. And collectors who specialize in mint errors often search carefully for these strange overlapping design traces because each clash pattern tells a unique story about what happened inside the press room decades ago. And then there are die cracks and cuds, which occur as dies wear out and begin breaking under the enormous pressure required to strike coins, leaving raised lines, blobs, or missing sections on the finished pennies. And some cuds become so dramatic that they cover large portions of the coin design, creating bizarre appearances highly prized by error collectors, especially when combined with strong strikes and high-grade surfaces. And the 1995D penny also exists within a fascinating era of coin production because the mid-1990s saw continued modernization at the United States Mint, increased automation, and high-speed production systems that occasionally produced unusual anomalies when equipment malfunctioned or dies were improperly prepared. And collectors believe there may still be undiscovered varieties from this era because billions of coins circulated through everyday commerce without careful inspection, meaning hidden treasures could still exist unnoticed in old jars, piggy banks, bank rolls, or inherited collections. And this possibility is what keeps millions of people interested in coin searching because the next legendary discovery could theoretically happen to anyone at any time. And the dream of finding a coin worth millions hidden among ordinary change continues inspiring collectors around the world to examine every penny carefully. And another reason the 1995D penny attracts attention is because Lincoln cents are among the most widely collected coins in American history, meaning demand for important varieties remains incredibly strong across all levels of the hobby, from beginners to advanced specialists. And unlike obscure coins recognized only by experts, Lincoln pennies have universal familiarity because nearly everyone has handled them during daily life, making the idea of a valuable penny especially exciting and relatable. And stories of rare pennies discovered accidentally in circulation continue spreading across social media, coin forums, auction houses, and collector communities. fueling excitement and encouraging more people to start searching their spare change, and every year new discoveries emerge as collectors identify previously unnoticed varieties or uncover high-grade examples hidden away for decades, proving that numismatic treasure hunting is far from over. And some experts believe that unopened rolls of 1995 pennies stored since the day they were issued may still contain incredible undiscovered specimens with pristine surfaces and rare die characteristics, and if one of those coins displayed a next 2001 1-cent coin. Today we are exploring one of the most fascinating modern Lincoln pennies ever discussed among collectors, the legendary 2001 Lincoln 1-cent coin that some rare coin enthusiasts believe could theoretically reach an astonishing value of $125 million because of extraordinary minting errors, mysterious production mistakes, hidden varieties, and impossible combinations of rare features that could transform a simple penny into one of the greatest treasures in American coin collecting history. And if you have ever tossed pennies into a jar without thinking twice, ignored loose change sitting in your car, or passed by old coins hidden inside drawers and boxes for years, this story may completely change the way you look at every 1-cent coin, because the 2001 Lincoln penny represents the dream that collectors chase every single day. The possibility that a common-looking coin hiding in plain sight may actually contain microscopic details worth millions, and the excitement surrounding the 2001 penny comes from the fact that it was produced during a time when the United States Mint was striking billions of coins using high-speed modern machinery operating under tremendous pressure to keep up with circulation demand across America, and whenever coins are manufactured in such enormous quantities, mistakes become inevitable. But every once in a while an error slips through that is so unusual, so dramatic, and so rare that it becomes legendary among collectors, and over the years modern pennies have surprised the numismatic world repeatedly with discoveries of double dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchet errors, die clashes, broad strikes, transitional varieties, and mysterious undocumented minting anomalies, proving that even recent coins can become priceless treasures if the right combination of circumstances exists. And this possibility is exactly why collectors remain obsessed with searching through modern pennies, because unlike ancient rare coins locked away in museums, valuable Lincoln cents can theoretically still be found in everyday circulation, hidden in old bank rolls, inherited collections, piggy banks, flea markets, or forgotten jars sitting in attics and basements for decades. And the 2001 penny is especially interesting because the early 2000s represented a period of advanced mint automation combined with extremely high production levels, creating conditions where subtle die preparation mistakes, machine malfunctions, or accidental die swaps could potentially create extraordinary coins unnoticed at the time of production, and one of the most exciting possibilities collectors search for on the 2001 penny involves dramatic double die errors, because double dies occur when the design is accidentally impressed multiple times onto a die at slightly different angles during the creation process, causing visible duplication on the final struck coin, especially in the date, lettering, or Lincoln's portrait, and genuine double die coins are considered highly valuable because the error originates from the die itself rather than post-mint damage, meaning every coin struck from that die carries the same unique features, and collectors constantly examine 2001 pennies under magnification searching for strong doubling on the words Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date, because a major undiscovered double die variety from this year could instantly become famous in the coin collecting world, especially if the coin survived in pristine mint condition with bright original red surfaces untouched by circulation wear, and what truly fuels the legendary $125 million theory is the possibility of a one-of-a-kind specimen combining several dramatic minting errors together on the same coin. Because in the world of numismatics the value of a coin increases dramatically when multiple rare mistakes appear simultaneously, creating a unique collectible unlike anything previously documented, and imagine a 2001 penny struck slightly off-center while also displaying strong double die features, proof like reflective surfaces, and an incorrect metal composition, all preserved in flawless mint state condition with no scratches or discoloration. Such a coin would become the center of enormous collector attention because there might never be another example like it anywhere in existence. And history has shown that wealthy collectors and elite investors are willing to spend incredible amounts of money For truly unique numismatic treasures, especially when the coin has a fascinating story connected to accidental minting mistakes and mysterious origins, and another major reason the 2001 penny attracts attention is the possibility of transitional varieties or die mix-ups, because throughout coin collecting history some of the most valuable coins were accidentally struck using dies intended for proof coins, experimental designs, or special production runs, creating unexpected combinations that should never have existed under normal mint procedures, and collectors believe that during busy production years subtle die swaps or preparation mistakes could occasionally occur without immediate detection, allowing unusual coins to escape into circulation unnoticed, and the thought that a 2001 penny might contain hidden proof reverse details, altered lettering spacing, or experimental design characteristics continues driving collectors to study these coins carefully using digital microscopes and advanced photography, because even tiny differences invisible to casual observers can separate an ordinary penny from a legendary rarity worth millions. And another fascinating category of mint errors involves wrong planchet strikes, where a coin is accidentally struck on a blank intended for another denomination or foreign currency. And these errors are among the rarest and most valuable minting mistakes because they represent failures that should be almost impossible within the minting system, yet history has proven that extraordinary accidents occasionally happen, producing coins that instantly become famous once discovered, and if a 2001 penny were ever found struck on a dime planchet, nickel planchet, foreign blank, or experimental alloy while also displaying additional minting anomalies, the rarity would become almost impossible to calculate, especially if the coin remained in exceptional condition with sharp details and brilliant surfaces, and collectors would likely compete fiercely for ownership because coins like that become permanent historical artifacts capturing moments of chaos inside the minting process itself. And another visually dramatic possibility involves off-center strikes, where the planchet was improperly positioned during striking, causing part of the design to miss the coin entirely and leaving blank areas that immediately catch attention. And collectors especially value off-center Lincoln cents when the date remains visible because it allows the coin to be identified clearly while still preserving the spectacular appearance of the error, and some of the most famous mint errors in American history were dramatic off-center coins that looked so unusual they captured the imagination of collectors and the public alike, and the 2001 penny becomes even more intriguing when considering broad strike errors, where the retaining collar fails during the strike and allows the metal to spread outward abnormally, producing oversized pennies with distorted edges and unusual shapes. And when broad strikes occur alongside double dies or wrong planchet errors, the resulting coins can become extraordinarily valuable because collectors love dramatic pieces that combine visual appeal with extreme rarity. And then there are die clashes, which happen when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, transferring parts of the design onto opposing dies and creating ghost-like impressions on later coins, and these strange overlapping features add mystery and uniqueness to already collectible pennies, especially when the clash marks remain strong and clearly visible, and advanced error collectors spend countless hours searching for unusual clash patterns because every clash tells a hidden story about what happened inside the minting press room years earlier. And another exciting category involves die cracks and cuts, which occur when mint dies begin breaking under the tremendous pressure required to strike millions of coins, leaving raised lines, blobs, or missing sections on the finished pennies, and some cuts become so large and dramatic that they create bizarre appearances collectors find highly desirable, especially when combined with strong strikes and high-grade preservation. And because the 2001 penny belongs to the Lincoln cent series, one of the most widely collected coin series in the world, demand for important varieties remains incredibly strong across all levels of collecting. From beginners searching pocket change to advanced specialists building elite collections, and this universal popularity increases the potential value of rare discoveries because millions of people recognize Lincoln cents instantly, making stories about valuable pennies especially exciting and relatable. And social media, online auctions, and coin collecting communities have helped spread awareness of rare coin discoveries faster than ever before, inspiring countless people to examine their spare change more carefully, hoping to uncover hidden treasures worth life-changing amounts of money. And every year new discoveries continue emerging from old collections, forgotten jars, inherited estates, and unopened bank rolls, proving that important coins can remain hidden for decades before finally being recognized. And some collectors believe that original rolls of 2001 pennies stored untouched since the year of issue may still contain undiscovered high-grade rarities waiting to shock the numismatic world, especially if those rolls include coins with unusual die states, dramatic errors, or previously undocumented varieties. And another factor contributing to the legendary $125 million estimate is the importance of condition rarity, because while billions of pennies were produced, very few survive in absolutely flawless condition with full original mint luster, no fingerprints, no scratches, and perfect surfaces, and collectors place enormous importance on quality, with top-graded examples often selling for dramatically higher prices than lower-grade coins from the same year, and when extreme. Last 2018 1-cent coin. Today we are diving deep into one of the most mysterious modern Lincoln cents ever discussed by collectors, the legendary 2018 Lincoln 1-cent coin that some treasure hunters and numismatic experts believe could theoretically reach an astonishing value of $120 million because of extraordinary minting errors, impossible production mistakes, hidden varieties, and unique combinations of rare features that could transform a simple penny into one of the greatest modern coin discoveries in American history. And if you have ever ignored pennies sitting in your car cup holder, tossed spare change into an old jar, or walked past a 1-cent coin lying on the ground without a second thought, this story may completely change the way you look at every coin that passes through your hands, because the 2018 penny represents the dream that keeps collectors searching every single day. The idea that a modern coin hiding in plain sight could contain microscopic details capable of turning a single cent into a treasure worth more than luxury mansions, private jets, and entire collections of rare antiques combined, and the excitement surrounding the 2018 Lincoln penny comes from the fact that it was minted during a time when the United States Mint was operating with highly advanced production systems, striking billions of coins at incredible speed to meet nationwide circulation demand. And while modern minting technology is designed to reduce mistakes, history has repeatedly proven that even the most advanced systems can produce astonishing errors when dies shift, machinery malfunctions, planchets feed incorrectly, or production processes encounter unexpected failures, and collectors know that some of the most valuable coins ever discovered were born from tiny unnoticed accidents inside the mint. Accidents that escaped quality control and entered circulation where they remained hidden for years before sharp-eyed treasure hunters finally recognized their importance. And the 2018 penny has become especially fascinating because modern Lincoln cents are still actively circulating, meaning undiscovered rarities could theoretically still be found in ordinary pocket change, bank rolls, inherited collections, or forgotten jars sitting in homes across the world. And this possibility creates endless excitement among collectors because unlike ancient coins locked away in museums or private vaults, modern pennies continue moving through everyday life unnoticed by millions of people, and one of the biggest reasons the 2018 penny attracts so much attention involves the possibility of dramatic double die errors, because double dies occur when the design is accidentally impressed multiple times onto the die at slightly different angles during the creation process, producing visible duplication in lettering, numbers, or design elements on the final struck coins. And genuine double dies are highly valuable because the mistake originates in the die itself, rather than from post-mint damage, meaning every coin struck by that die carries the same unusual features, and collectors constantly inspect 2018 pennies under magnification searching for strong doubling on Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, the date, Lincoln's portrait, or the reverse shield design, because a newly discovered major double die from this year could instantly become one of the most famous modern Lincoln cent varieties ever found, especially if the doubling appeared dramatic enough to be visible without magnification, and the excitement becomes even greater when people imagine the possibility of a unique specimen combining multiple extraordinary mint errors together on one coin, because in the world of numismatics rarity multiplies when several mistakes appear simultaneously, creating a collectible unlike anything else in existence. And imagine a flawless 2018 penny struck off-center while also displaying powerful double die features, mirrored proof-like surfaces, or wrong planchet composition, and unusual die clash marks, all preserved in pristine mint state condition with original blazing red color and no circulation damage. Such a coin would instantly become the center of intense collector competition because there may never be another example like it anywhere in the world. And throughout rare coin history, collectors have paid astonishing amounts for unique specimens carrying legendary stories, mysterious origins, and impossible combinations of minting accidents, and the theoretical $120 million valuation connected to the 2018 penny comes from exactly this type of imagination within the numismatic world, where the possibility of a one-of-a-kind coin can create extraordinary demand among wealthy investors, elite collectors, and museums determined to own the finest modern rarity ever discovered. And another major source of fascination involves transitional varieties and accidental die usage, because some of the most famous coins in history were created when proof dies, experimental dies, or special reverse designs accidentally entered circulation production, creating coins with unusual details that should never have existed under normal mint procedures, and collectors believe that during high-speed production years subtle die mix-ups or preparation mistakes may occasionally occur without immediate detection, allowing strange coins to escape into circulation unnoticed, and advanced numismatists continue examining 2018 pennies carefully for unusual spacing in lettering, altered shield details, die polish patterns, mint mark positioning, or other subtle features that could reveal previously undocumented varieties, because even the smallest differences can separate an ordinary penny from a legendary rarity worth millions. And another category of extraordinary mint mistakes involves wrong planchet errors, where a penny is accidentally struck on a blank intended for another denomination or even foreign coinage. And these mistakes are considered among the rarest and most valuable errors in the hobby because they represent failures that should be nearly impossible inside the controlled minting process, yet history has shown that remarkable accidents sometimes occur despite advanced safeguards, and if a 2018 penny were discovered struck on a dime planchet, nickel blank, experimental alloy, or foreign coin blank while also displaying additional dramatic errors, the resulting coin could become one of the most important modern mint mistakes ever found, especially if the surfaces remain perfectly preserved with full mint luster and sharp strike quality, and collectors know that uniqueness combined with flawless condition can create incredible auction battles because true one-of-a-kind pieces become impossible to replace once they disappear into private collections. And another visually dramatic error collectors search for on the 2018 penny is the off-center strike, where the planchet is improperly positioned during striking, causing portions of the design to miss the coin entirely and leaving blank curved spaces that immediately attract attention, and collectors especially value off-center coins when the full date remains visible because it allows the coin to be identified clearly while still preserving the dramatic visual effect of the minting mistake. And some of the most famous modern error coins gained popularity precisely because they looked so unusual that even people outside the hobby found them fascinating. And the 2018 penny becomes even more mysterious when considering broad strike errors, which occur when the retaining collar fails during striking and allows the metal to spread outward abnormally, creating oversized coins with distorted edges and unusual appearances. And broad-struck pennies with strong details and additional errors can become highly collectible because they capture dramatic moments of mechanical failure inside the minting process, and then there are die clashes, one of the most intriguing minting accidents in coin collecting, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, transferring portions of one design onto the opposing die and creating ghost-like overlapping features on later struck coins. And advanced collectors love dramatic die clash examples because each clash pattern tells a hidden story about what happened inside the minting press room, revealing moments of production chaos frozen permanently into the surface of the coin. And another exciting possibility involves die cracks and cuds, where mint dies begin breaking under immense striking pressure and produce raised cracks, blobs, or missing sections on the finished coins, and some cuds become so dramatic that they cover major portions of the design, creating bizarre appearances highly prized by error collectors, especially when the coins also feature strong strikes and attractive surfaces, and the 2018 penny also attracts enormous interest because it belongs to the Lincoln Cent series, one of the most collected and recognizable coin series in American history, meaning demand for important varieties remains incredibly strong among collectors of all experience levels, from beginners searching spare change to advanced specialists studying microscopic die markers. And this universal popularity makes stories about valuable pennies especially exciting because almost everyone has handled Lincoln Cents during daily life, creating the thrilling possibility that hidden treasures could be sitting unnoticed in ordinary places, and social media, online coin communities, auction sites, and collector forums have amplified this excitement dramatically by spreading stories of rare discoveries around the world within minutes, inspiring millions of people to search through their change looking for valuable coins they may have overlooked for years. And every year new varieties and mint errors continue emerging. As collectors examine coins with improved technology and greater attention to detail, proving that modern coin collecting still holds incredible opportunities for discovery, and some experts believe unopened rolls of 2018 pennies stored directly from banks or mint shipments may still contain undiscovered high-grade rarities waiting to shock the numismatic world, especially if those rolls include coins struck from unusual die states or undocumented varieties, and another major factor contributing to the legendary $120 million theory is the importance of condition rarity, because while billions of pennies were produced, only a tiny number survive in flawless condition free from scratches,